Hello everyone, welcome to another video, another planty video. It is me, Desiree, and can you believe it has been almost a year that I bought my Monstera Constellation. I can't believe it. I genuinely thought it was maybe 6 months, but I went back through my videos and I unboxed this in a video the day I got it. I uploaded the video the same day on September 28th of 2022. Like, we're 3 weeks shy for being a year. I can't believe it. Where did the time go? It genuinely is blowing my mind. I can't believe it. Anyway, I thought it would be only fitting to do a little update on this plant, give you my tips and tricks, what I've learned, how much it's grown since I've had it. And I thought it would be timely to put this up because not only is it a year update, which I didn't realize until literally I sat down to do the video, but this plant is popping up left and right now. I saw it at my local nursery, Monrovia, like somehow figured out how to get this plant out. They've been pumping it out to other stores, which is great. And I've been seeing in other people's plant shopping videos, just seeing it sitting there for sale, like any normal plant, when just a few years ago, even last year, you had to buy the plant online, you had to buy a small one, it was really expensive. And don't get me wrong, the plant is still pricey. Like the ones that were at my nursery, they were $124 or something. I think Ashley Anita saw some for like 80 something. So the price has gone down from what it once was, but it's still expensive for a plant, you know? With the tips and tricks I'm gonna share with you today, the number one tip I have for taking care of any plant, especially when you are looking something up online, you're trying to find someone to give you advice, vary your sources. Vary your sources. Look up different things, different people living in different areas, different climates, different parts of the country or the world. Look up different websites, different blogs. It's really easy because I did this. I still do this. But when I first got into plants, or I first was buying something like this, I found someone that I really liked to watch, and then I assumed everything they said was exactly what I needed to do with my plants. And a lot of it was stuff I didn't need to do at all, stuff that really didn't work for me, didn't work for my climate at all. So then I realized I could take bits and pieces from different people and apply it to my plant, and I found what works that way. So no matter what I say today, don't take what I say as the best, most perfect thing to do with your plant. Vary your sources. Take what I'm saying, take what someone else is saying, find someone you like to watch, and then take from those videos what you want to apply to your plant. You know what I mean? And it's all trial and error anyway. So when I first got this plant, it was $199. I bought it on Walmart.com from Wild Interiors. I would buy it again from them. I highly recommend it. I think it came in great condition. I'll link below my unboxing video in case you want to see how it arrived, how many leaves it had, how big it was, and all that kind of stuff. And although it was $199, the plants that I'm seeing now look just like that one, or how this one used to look, but the price has gone down by like $80, sometimes even more, and it's the same size of plant. So this is what the plant looks like. Let's talk about the plant already. It's absolutely beautiful, and it did grow a few new leaves. This one here is a new leaf. This one here, this beautiful fenestrated leaf. Let me try to bend it without breaking it. This leaf here also grew. This was a new one here. This little one here. And then this one, and this one were what came on the plant, and this little guy here. For some reason, I feel like there was another little tiny leaf that died or that I cut off. But I'm sure what you noticed here, on the white parts of the leaves, there is a lot missing that what I have cut off, like this piece here. And then here on this fenestrated leaf, it's kind of hard to do. This whole white side here, I cut off. So one of the mistakes I made when I first got this plant is I thought it was going to be the exact same care as Monstera deliciosa because it looks just like it. I mean, when you see these leaves, that's Monstera deliciosa right there, you know? And I even said in my unboxing video, I'm gonna treat it just like my other Monstera because I thought that's what it would have wanted. And what I do for that plant is I let it dry completely out before I water it, and I give it as much light as I possibly can without putting it in direct sun. And the sunlight was great. It loves light. It loves the light. And I think that's what's really helped pump out these really big leaves with the fenestrations. What it does not like is to be dried out. And Wild Interiors even sent me some instructions on the plant, and it said don't let it dry out all the way, but I felt like I knew better, you know. What do they know? They're only professional plant growers. Anyway, the plant did not like that, and it showed me that by getting crispy. So all of the white parts of these leaves here are missing big chunks because this part was super crispy, like a dried up old fall leaf. This one too, pretty much half of the leaf is missing because it dried up and got crispy. And it affects mostly the white parts of the leaves. It never really affected any of the green parts, just the parts that were like completely white. But I cut those pieces off and I started watering the plant way more regularly. So I brought out my moisture meter. I did check the soil constantly. Let me see what it's at now. I watered this 5 days ago because I watered it the morning. I watered it Wednesday morning, and today it's Monday. So now I watered it 6 days ago, and right now it's dry. Like, look at the moisture meter right there. It's dry. I do have it in a terracotta pot, and the soil that I put in here was like 50% the regular houseplant mix from Miracle-Gro and like 50% bark from Miracle-Gro. It's just literally pieces of bark. And I did that because I had always heard of people getting these plants and then getting root rot. So I was really worried about it getting root rot. I wanted to make sure that mine never stayed wet for too long. But on the flip side, having such a soil like this and having it in a terracotta pot which wicks moisture away, it dries out really fast. So I only watered this 6 days ago and it's already dry. So I need to water it for sure. I don't usually let it get dry. Like, I don't let the moisture meter get all the way to the red where it says dry because I found when I let that happen, the white parts of the leaves are the first thing to tell me like, hey, I need more moisture. So what I do to water this is I have a basin of water in my kitchen, and since this has a drainage hole here, I just put this in the water, and the water is probably like this high once I put it in, and then it just sucks up the water from the bottom. And I like to do that mostly because it's easy. It keeps the plant, you know, watered. It's stress-free. I just sit it there. I don't have to stand there pouring water over it and picking it up and pouring the water. I just sit it in the bucket of water and let it soak up water on its own. And then once I see the top of the pot is moist, then I take it out, let it dry for a day, and then I put it back in its little spot. And I do have it in the window that gets west exposure. So right now it's 4:15 and the light is already blasting the plants that are right there. And this one really, really likes that. I even noticed that the leaves will start stretching towards the window. Like, it really, really likes that really high light. So the plant grew 3 leaves since I've had it. You know, it's almost been a year that I've had it, and it's grown 3 leaves. So it's a slow grower. Although I do water it on a regular basis, it's getting tons of light. I just started fertilizing it like maybe 3 weeks ago. I just put some like liquid houseplant fertilizer in the water that I put it in, mix it up, and then I just put the plant in there. So I don't really know how the fertilizer has affected the plant at this time, but just started doing it. But that is probably it. I don't supplement any humidity for the plant, and the plant is doing just fine without it. I did think at first that the plant was getting crispy because it needed humidity. But once I started watering it a heck of a lot more and not letting it get dry on the moisture meter, like, I probably let it go to maybe between the 3 and the 4 where it's just still moist but not wet, not even close to wet, but starting to get a little dry. Then I water it right away. Usually, at least right now at this time of year in the summer, it's been every 5 days that I have to water this plant. Today's day 6 and it's already a little drier than I would normally let it get. So if you're having issues with yours, give it a little bit more water. Don't let it dry out all the way. I don't supplement humidity for this. I never have. But once I started watering it a lot more, the crisping completely stopped and it hasn't come back at all. So you don't really need humidity with this plant. I do live in the Southwest. Like I said, we don't have high humidity here naturally in the air. So it's not getting any kind of just humidity naturally. And it's doing just fine. But I love this plant. I don't regret buying it for a second, even though it was pricier back then. Prices of plants fluctuate all the time, and you're always going to pay a little more for something, and then in the next year it's going to be $20. You know what I mean? But I don't regret buying it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It is a slow grower, but I don't mind that at all. Each leaf is super, super beautiful. And although the leaves that it came with were pretty because they were this marbled look here and then the big white chunks, It was really beautiful, but I love these leaves even more. The ones that have tons and tons and tons of speckles and smears on them. I think it's stunning. I know this is probably like playing with fire here, but I have this plant on my table right there where I have all my alocasias, and the alocasias periodically get spider mites. One of them probably has spider mites right now, and I have this on the table with all of those plants, and this one has never gotten them. I don't know what that is. Maybe Monstera is just a little more like resistant to the spider mites, or maybe the spider mites just love the alocasias a lot more. But even though I have it sitting right there by those plants, it's never gotten a pest. I've never had to like spray it with anything. Not to say that it means it's resistant to pests, I just haven't had to deal with them at all on the plants so far. Knock on wood. But that's it. I think this plant is super beautiful, super easy to take care of. Once I got the watering down, that was kind of it. That was the only issue I kept having. So don't let it dry out all the way. Give it as much light as possible. Like I have mine in a west facing window and it's doing great. But of course, vary your sources. You might find one of the tips I gave you not to work for you. You might find that if you water yours on a more frequent basis, it might get root rot. So that's what I'm saying. Vary your sources, because you might find someone who lives in your climate that bought the same plant from you from the same grower, and their tips and tricks might work for you a little better. But I think this plant is a lot easier than it turned out to be. Just don't let it dry out. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a Thai constellation, let me know what you think, and share your tips and tricks in the comment section down below, because we can all learn from each other. We all have different things, different climates, different areas, different zones, and different light in our house, and our plants thrive in different ways. So let me know your tips and tricks on the plants so we can all learn from each other. Leave me a comment and let me know. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss my next one, and I will see you later in another video.